Welcome back to Penang, Malaysia. Jesse Matthews here, Jason Katz-Brown, here to provide some insight, hopefully, and stories, snippets, all sorts of fun little things.
Shade.
Shade, yes. Shade is good too. We were just looking at the standings outside in the hallway. The website, I'm not seeing the exact same thing yet, so I'll just go from memory and tell you that there are 3 teams who are now tied at 18 points. Team Rest of the World remains at 18 points. United States is at 18 points as well, and Australia is at 18 points. All 3 of them at 18 points. And then Nigeria, they remain at 17 as they lost the last round. Now folks, back on the main board here. Vannitha has just played Bwig, keeping MT.
Good play.
And waiting to see Theresa's rack.
Vannitha is the Malaysia national champion.
She is.
She won that just last month.
A very deserving one at that.
And she's been a mainstay at Causeway for more than a decade.
And at Tour de Force. Theresa, in the meantime, she has pulled a blank early on. Hogmanay and Mahogany are 2 options that I see right away. But is it actually the best play? I'm not entirely sure, because it doesn't score a whole bunch. Oh, G.I. Joel. I don't know if you saw this message a while ago. He says, "Hi to Jason Katz-Brown. Long time no see. We miss you here."
Oh, hello, G.I. Joel. I miss you as well.
Aditya Iyengar makes a question. Do you guys consider Wim keeping Get? I like Bwig.
Yeah, but those are, they're both good. I mean, I like M's, so. Paco recommends Hogmanay over Mahogany and Aya.
Crabcat says Aya is a good non-bingo option here. Yep, agreed. However, it does offer some scary setups from that play, says Crabcat. Yeah, I can certainly understand that. I think that could be part of why Hogmanay is preferred.
Yeah.
And of course, I should mention, as has just popped up on the screen here, the live stream coverage we've got here is supported in part by the donations from Eli Dangur. So thank you for that. We appreciate you funding coverage for Tournament Scrabble. So, oh look, Cake, you need to take out one of the A's. Hogmanay is just an alternate spelling for Hogmanay with an E. Dave from Malta says, good luck, Theresa. Bless you once. And it looks like in the end, Theresa is opting to forego either of the bingo choices and plays Aya.
Yeah, I wonder if, do you think she saw the bingos?
Well, she's been pretty solid with finding words so far, so
yeah.
I don't know if she would have missed them.
Yeah.
Vannitha has Cat in the top left corner, which scores pretty well. Seems like a fairly standard go here. Anne9Ru, which I assume is a variation of Andrew, says she can't have been 100% sure on them. I'd give her a fair bit of credit. She's found some of our best words in this tournament so far. Alexi says she should know Mahogany at least. I think she does. I think she just hasn't opted to play them for some reasons.
Yeah, I mean, this in a little Quackle sim, it looked like Quackle liked Mahogany and Aya about the same, and then preferred Hogmanay over both of them. I guess because of the way the vowels are lined up. And yeah, I mean, all Aya and the two bingos were all within like 2 or 3 expected win percentage points. So they're all good plays.
So Vannitha's going for cut underneath of Aya and Bwig.
I'm wondering
about that as well.
Another interesting play there was IDEM, making dab, I, and maw. It's like super defensive and still leaves cat. All the 3 plays seem very close, but Quackle does prefer the higher scoring cat.
Might be something to ask her after if we can get her in studio.
Yeah.
Same with Aya from Theresa. I'm sure she'll provide us some insight into her thought process. So no bonus options for Theresa on this rack. It's going to be a question of what she does to balance things out.
Well, I guess the reason I would say 2% is 2 to 3% difference in plays is not much, is more, not because 2 to 3% of win chances is small, but because Quackle is a very imperfect tool, and like 2 or 3% are probably, I mean, the margin of error is probably 1 to 2%, but more like we don't really know what the perfect play is. Quackle doesn't know what the perfect play is, and so when things are very close, it's not super clear.
But he lost.
Yeah, that's right. I thought he lost. No, well, there he goes his 500, nearly got 500. The one game,
So Theresa's opted for Noi. That's going to leave a spot for Domain right underneath.
Ooh.
Amidon did play on top of High until Noi just went down. And here it comes. Good spot from Vannitha. And yeah, as the chat mentioned, 1 turn ago, who would have thought Vannitha would bingo first in this game? Yeah, that definitely wasn't the thought before, but here it goes. She is going to be the one to go first. Theresa's sitting pretty nice with what she's got over on her side, and there should be another bonus coming down shortly. Vannitha was involved in a little bit of a fun situation in the Malaysian National Championship. Jason, I forget if you got to hear about this, or maybe you heard me talking about it with her. I can't remember.
Maybe not.
There was a situation where she was playing against, I believe it was Kong. I can't remember who it was at the championship, but one of the players there, Alex Tan, I think it was, he was hovering behind and decided to kibitz out loud while the game was still in process with respect to a word that was on the board, and they decided to seek a ruling from the director to see what would go on, and the director happened to be Nigel Richards for the tournament. So Nigel came by to provide a ruling and said that technically Kong doesn't have to pay attention to anything that Alex said. In this case, I believe Alex stated a valid word out loud that he saw on Kong's rack. He did end up playing it, but as it turns out, Vannitha still won the game and ended up winning the Malaysian national title. And she was very gracious in the whole process and Alex felt very bad about the situation because he thought the game was over apparently at the time, but didn't really pay attention to what was actually happening in the game. So, so I was talking about that with Vannitha and some other people and thinking, Nigel is formidable as an opponent already, having him as the director as well, with a bit of an acerbic reply perhaps, for any rules adjudication necessary. It's a much smaller book for him to memorize as well, given that he's memorized the Collins Dictionary already. Only having to memorize a few pages of rules and words, I think he can manage that no problem. So, formidable director indeed. Cool. King of Lettuce mentions love zine / novelize. Yes, that's correct. I believe it was a love zine that would have gone down in that story. So yeah, he blurted it out loud, and Kong did end up playing one of them.
Wow.
And allegedly had not seen them up until that point.
Wow. That's a tricky situation.
Mm-hmm.
What are you challenging? Oh my.
I'm gonna assume Petrus. In any case, Vannitha was concerned about spread becoming a factor when that whole story played out. As it turns out, while the spread was close, it didn't affect her negatively in the end. She actually won based on spread. She had enough even outside of that game. So Vannitha is all smiles as they come back from the challenge computer. Cuts up the tiles. And that's actually one of the things I love about her is just how approachable and warm she is, even when she's playing. A fierce competitor as well. Don't be fooled by the smiles and the friendliness. She is a lethal opponent. King of Lettuce says, Howard versus Ganesh must have been a nail-biter. Can anyone shed more light? I don't have details on the entire game. Kumar was actually briefly talking about it in the background with Barry a little bit ago. I believe Ganesh scored over 500 and still lost. So I don't know more details about the Ganesh Howard game, but yes, that must have been a nail biter. Av Alan Che says Theresa knew every 7 and 8 in the lexicon until CSW 15, so odds are she saw the opening bingo and deferred it. Yeah, I would have to agree. I don't think she missed them at all. I think it was a personal choice to go for Aya instead, and there was a thought process to it. Is a nice play.
Yeah. I mean, she could have played Quaffed also.
Mm-hmm. An open M for something like downtime, but it is not there. Interesting. She could play short with something like Yod and Dow for, I believe it's 35. And yeah, I guess there's a longer underlap too.
Yeah.
Wanted is there as well.
Yeah, all of her plays are underneath domain.
The wanted is how many? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20. 44, and Dow is 30 something. You have the T to hook onto Hin after you play Dow, possibly to score lots of points. So it is based on the way that Hin and R are there. I don't see that spot being used unless, yeah, you were to play something like that. Dwayne is an interesting choice.
I'm not sure why she would prefer that to an underlap.
Yeah, I find that very odd. It scores. I mean, there's certainly no issue with that. I just think that the leaves from the other options are quite a bit better, and that's why they're simulating better as well.
Yeah, and it scores 8 points fewer than wanted.
And here goes Vannitha with another bingo dateline. Wasting no time.
Why doesn't she play lineated? She's not up by enough that that kind of defense seems warranted. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Although lineated does give back the triple lane when you put that down, I'm not sure it's worth sacrificing those points.
Yeah.
That's likely the reason why she didn't play that one, just the triple possibilities. But after Dwayne, I don't really know what you'd even peg Theresa's rack to be.
Yeah.
You can't really infer anything from what she's played, so she's got a random rack essentially, and for that reason I'd probably play lineated, but perhaps in a different situation, like you said, with a different score, or maybe with a different play that Theresa had made, maybe I would do something like that, but not necessarily in this situation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you probably, after one, you probably peg her with 2 good letters, probably including an E, even though that's wrong. Because otherwise you'd have played underneath domain. So that's if she has an E, you might not want to put the D there.
So Vannitha's still sitting at 20.5 minutes. She's been playing remarkably fast. Theresa down to 13 minutes. And she's going to go with Giju.
Wait, what? Why not? I guess that's not too bad.
It's a lot of T's.
Another option was Jigot, J-I-G-O-T, through the I of coif.
I like playing a T in some form.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, especially when you're behind, I mean, it may not be a ton, but when you're behind, I don't want to be taking out the D, which you can play words ending in ED, of course, too. I don't really like limiting my options. Jigot opens up the bottom of the board even more. Not that it isn't. Quaff already has it open somewhat, and Dateline is there, but Jigot allows for 7s that don't necessarily require an S. Av Alan Che says Dwayne finds the blank. Wanted also finds the blank, so on that basis, I would say Wanted is better if your goal is to try and play for a blank in the bag.
Yeah. Yep. Looking at Choir and Raya, it's quite a good play. And then the other...
I think I would potentially consider Ichor in the same spot.
Oh. They're basically equivalent, right? And the other option that is Roach next to Coif, making O-R-I-O-F-A. That would be the highest scoring at 39, but leave I-O, which is plus put that H in the triple word spot.
I think part of my personal preference for Ichor is that Choir, they're almost equal, but I think what makes it different for me is Choir allows for X plays,
Hmm.
that are doubled, and each word doesn't necessarily allow for an easy Z drop because you would have to have, let's see, you'd have to have, yeah, even Adze isn't going to play there. So Choir just allows for something that gives up points. I think that's maybe the minimal difference for me is why I prefer each word.
I see. Quackle prefers Roach by quite a bit, eh?
A Roach in which spot?
Roach next to Quoif. Scores 5 more points.
Yeah, if I were to add in Roach into the options, yeah, I prefer that one too.
That's a nice play, Mott.
Mott gets rid of some of those T's, and she definitely needed to get rid of them.
So neck and neck.
Yes. Well fought match so far here. And two of the best in the business.
Yeah, and Andrew makes a good point in the chat that Vannitha is playing very consistently. Like, she didn't want to put open up the triple lanes with Dateline.
Yeah, so not playing Roach is consistent with that.
Absolutely. But she has another choice again. Her highest scoring play is FAV next to Quoif for 37, putting that E in the triple lane. But she could also play Fovia through the O of Choir. That's only 30. But Quackle seems to think that it's worth making that sacrifice.
Vannitha's got Fab lined up on her rack.
That seems unideal given that there's 4 S's in the bag.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to worry about openings and potential snapbacks, then Fab is not the one to play.
Yeah.
It would be Fave if you're going to open up down there.
Yeah, but then again, literally those S's are in the bag because Theresa doesn't have them, so it could work out.
Perhaps through Vannitha's powers of telepathy, she'll be able to talk to the gods in the bag and know the S's are there.
Yeah, I don't think she could read that from Theresa's previous moves.
Aditya in the chat mentions, what about fold up for style points? To
Fold
the
up.
duff? That's cute.
Whoa, cute.
The BVAE elite I'm not a fan of, but that is cute.
BV is not fun.
Fava on Dwayne is a suggestion for this move. Oh, I see, with FE and Fava. Yeah, that's currently about 7th on the list. That leaves Loeb left over.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if she could have inferred from Mott that Theresa left all consonants. So that'd be a good reason to not put an E there in that triple lane. But I would say my ability to infer is terrible. And it's always been. I'm not even going to try.
I don't know if I would infer no vowels, but I would infer few for sure after Mott. And I don't think I would tack one more T on. I would just play Mott if I didn't have a third T, so I'd probably safely infer she has another T, because yes, it is like, what, 4 more points, maybe 5?
6 more.
6? Okay, well 6 is a fair bit.
I mean, she could put that T out there for general balance. Right?
I think consonant heavy is the only thing I could safely assume after that play. But after that, I don't know if I could accurately say anything.
Fab, whoa.
So it looks
Weird.
like she has used her telepathy successfully.
And it's so weird that...
After her other plays, yeah.
But also, like, just the yellow V is not... I mean, why wouldn't you want to use the V? Like, the V is not good. And any board, really, but here especially.
Now I'm really curious, because when you look at Theresa's rack, there is like little to nothing she can do to deal with that. And from her point of view, Vannitha is saying, "Hi, I have an S."
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So this should make the next few moves really interesting.
Well, she almost has Novelize and Lovezian again.
Oh, look at that.
But she doesn't.
We'll
this is so weird.
I'll have to get someone to walk by and mention those words to her. And yes, Aditya mentions in the chat, Lovezian almost, so we're on the same wavelength as you, dear friend.
Gosh, yeah. What is she gonna? I mean, is she gonna make an anemic block? No. Oh, whoa, she's playing boldly. That's
she
great.
Is not playing scared.
I
which
love
is
it.
Interesting.
I love it.
So the interesting thing is Vannitha has something like, at the very least, Bez as an easy 30 plus play. Need to look a little bit longer to see what else she has, but the nice thing about, after Bez she would keep an O to play underneath after, but we'll see how bold she continues to be.
Quackle's favorite move on Theresa's last play was Onagri, O-N-A-G-R-I to the I of Gwyn. That would have been highest scoring at 27. Probably you want to use as many tiles as you can to get an S or the blank that's in the bag. ZO in the top right is possibly the play as well. Although I guess the O is the case of O. There's no more O's.
There are the 3 A's underneath. If she were to play Bez, then the A's could easily go underneath, and as it turns out, Theresa has them, and she has anti-R's at that. So Bez would be pretty deadly. Suggestions in the chat. Hobble, that's suggested by Andrew off of the H Inquire.
Set up another S spot.
Yeah, Ralphlin says that Sarina is there for Theresa next, so yes, she has options. Av Alan Che says Theresa is control plus B. Yes, she is bold. Nice. Arcanist as well from Aditya, very good. Crabcat says she would not be so sad to be getting rid of the last O though. And Natalie Zolti says, go rest of the world. Hello Natalie, you are back. Oh, she might actually be playing Bez. She has moved the E and the Z to the left side of her rack. This newfound boldness is quite something after her previous defensive play.
I'm not sure why you'd play Bez compared to ZO.
Ooh, she is, and we're going to be seeing...
I guess it's to neutralize an S that you never had.
Theresa's got to be scratching her head now, being like, what on earth is going on?
Yeah, seriously.
And it works perfectly fine for her, but if I was sitting in her chair, I'd be like, what is Vannitha doing?
This game is going to be so close.
Yes. We like those. We like to see
Yeah.
games that are hotly contested.
Yeah. Artisan for 85. She'll be ahead by 22. Oh, and Vannitha got an S.
She has it now. One turn too late.
She can still play Fabs.
Yes, she can still play Favs, certainly.
But she has no good. Nothing super promising.
And this next draw from Theresa will be key to determining tempo here. Wow. Nice spot, Crabcat. It says locatives was blocked through the AT. In,
Ooh, wow.
that part of the word.
Wow. Good spotting. Would you like some jackfruit?
I am alright, thank you though. Please enjoy.
Jackfruit's delicious.
Teresa's got 3 E's, Eelers, and Reelers she's got on her
Ooh.
rack.
Crackle's thinking Vannitha should go with perhaps Levs, making Fabs. That's her highest scoring play, along with Balls. But Crackle prefers Levs, I think, because there's plenty of E's in the bag.
I was going to
but
say it doesn't realize the E's are on Teresa's rack, but in a pool where there's no inferences or no knowledge of the opponent's rack, Levs looks good.
Yeah. Maybe we could show the unseen tiles. Yeah, there's 4 E's, 1 I, and a U, and an A.
So from Vannitha's point of view, playing off 1 E wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. However, what we know is that it would make it fairly unlikely that she would draw one if she were to play an E at this point.
It's fine. I mean, eyes and O's are good vowels, too. And you're not going to duplicate them like Lily. Yeah, Cockling to Levs wins 41% of the time. So,
Levs is decent.
very close game. What are you thinking?
I am thinking bowls. Like, I mean, I know it's easier to say because I can see Teresa's rack, but even if I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about what I'm leaving, what I could pull from the pool, I see E together a bit more. Morphologically, when I think about English, I'm thinking about 2 E's and CI working okay together, compared to what I could do in a worst case scenario after Levs. That's just my personal preference. It looks like Vannitha might be chasing a blank, potentially, by playing voices.
Crackle's not a big fan. I think that only wins 34% of the time, compared to 41% of the time with Levs.
It's interesting. Crackle puts Levs a full, let's see, 2.5 percentage points higher than Vols, but again, that's without the knowledge that Theresa has all the E's.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why voices is so undesirable. I guess opening up that V there is, it's a pretty big place to score in it, but not really.
Colin asks, would Creelers have been good for Theresa had voices not been played? And that is a negatory given by Avalanche in the chat. Vannitha's in a bit of trouble now, as she's got dull VIX sitting on her rack.
I think one reason you'd want to keep vowels is there's not that many in the bag. There's only 7 vowels out of 20.
Vannitha's taking a brief lead, but she's going to be in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, you thinking Relev or?
Relev, yeah, I mean, I'd be, again, looking at the pool, hesitant to use so many vowels when there's so few from Theresa's point of view.
Yeah.
But Relev
totally.
certainly scores a lot. It's hard to ignore that. And in this situation, there's 8 tiles in the bag.
So playing 6 is good timing.
6 gives a, yeah, it's pretty good timing.
You only need one vowel to play a word that makes fabs, but that could.
Something to consider is if you play that long, excuse me, then Vannitha needs to play a whole bunch of tiles to try and get herself to a place where she can have a chance of going out in 1 in the end game to seal her victory, or make it very likely she can go out in 2 after scoring big on the first turn. So two in the bag is tricky depending on what your opponent has potentially. So this is one of those pre-endgame positions. You know, pre-endgame is fairly important
Yeah.
as far as making the difference in some of these games that are very close in many situations. Theresa's got reserve lined up instead of Relev to play one more letter. In that case,
But you can't. That S is so valuable.
the S is fairly important on this board, especially because Fab, you can play an S onto that and hook something left to deal with any potential clunkers you could draw, because the pool does still have some high-scoring tiles that are unseen to Theresa. She could use them with that S to score an easy 30 plus in her pre-end game or her end game, so I would not be in favor of using it at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, you need to keep the S because you need to be able to block that spot in case it's Vannitha's only hope. Quagga has one more good idea that's winning the sim, actually. It's just playing L-E-R to the E of Bez, so L-E-R-E. That scores 21. It leaves
a nice
2
play.
E's, which is key.
I like that.
The timing's probably not as good for the reasons Jesse was talking about, but
Well, I think it's actually not bad, even still, because after that you leave 5 in the bag. For Vannitha, she's going to have a hard time using all of her letters. I mean,
well, then
or many of her letters.
Vannitha can make a 4-letter play, leaving good
Yeah.
timing, like with the V, or a 4-letter play when making fabs.
She has to declutter, though, with that junk, and that's pretty tough to give herself a chance of going out in
Well,
1 or 2. She's in a tough spot.
Yeah, but you got to think that. And we know that she didn't leave a V, leave an S when she played voices, because otherwise she would have played viscose.
Correct.
But still, it's a pretty good chance of drawing. And
So Theresa's going for reserve.
weird. She must have missed Relev, right? There's no way you would see. I mean, she's gonna draw an S and then be in great shape, so I guess it works out.
Or she could somehow leave it in the bag. As after this, there's going to be 2 in the bag. Vannitha's counting for making her pre-end game play.
Just thinking about it, another reason Quackle was liking Levs is keeping the O for Ox alongside Choir. That was the case O, right? So that's a big deal to keep that one. And she would love to have that now, the O.
Natalie Zolti says, has studied Vannitha and decided she doesn't have the blank. Both sides are telepathic here, says Crabcat. Yeah. So that time that she banked early on is useful for Vannitha now. She's had a pretty difficult pre-end game to figure out here. Theresa's got the last blank. She's got an A. This one is looking very much in her favor to finish off the game. So unseen to Vannitha in the bag are P and E. Interesting possibility I was thinking of is, if you're trying to, and we know it's pretty difficult at this point, but you need something like Villi to get rid of your junk, leaving XU still, duck somewhere. I don't know if it's the right play, but something like Villi to get rid of some awkward letters and give yourself a chance to pull something out. Because in a best case scenario, for example, if you play Villi, you might draw Exude if you pull an E and a blank. I haven't worked through all of it, or then you can do something like exits possibly alongside Dateline. You need to try for something that allows you to do well in the end game and steal at this point. Crabcat suggests do through the O in choir, D-O-U-X.
I think Quackle's best idea is XU on the upper right, but I think she has no good options, eh?
I think XU is really just tipping your hat and essentially saying, okay, good job. Because, with DV, I'm just not seeing a way to avoid the issues in the endgame.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, she probably only has wins if
The blank's in the bag.
the blank's in the bag, or AE is in the... Yeah, if the blank's in the bag.
Dad City asked if this is the last game. I went to bed after the first 2 games. I've got up and you're still here going strong. No, actually there are 2 games after this.
Yes.
Still 2 more. There will be Dave Wiegand in both of the last 2 games.
Yes. How exciting is this?
Yes, and the very last game is Dave Wiegand versus Ganesh Surbiton,
Yes.
which is our biggest game of the day.
Highlight game.
Yes, and then before that we have Dave Wiegand taking on Panupon Sujayakorn of
Whoa.
Thailand in a rematch of
Whoa.
the 2005 North American Scrabble Championship.
Whoa, that was so long ago.
Yeah, so 2 very exciting games coming up. It's been great all day. Seeing some wonderful play at the top table, but 2 very good games coming up.
This has been an interesting game because we've kind of seen. I mean, often when you're analyzing a position, you'll think of the potential upsides and downsides of a play, and then like none of those upsides or downsides will materialize, and you wonder just like, why did I analyze that? But I think here we've seen plays kind of those things come true. Like for example, when we need to play voices, like the downside of that play is it uses your O that you're going to need for the X, and it opens up a big V spot, and then that's kind of what's played out. Theresa cashed in on the V spot, and then Vannitha has this O, this X that she doesn't have the vowels to use. And you imagine like if Vannitha had played vices, like just played vices.
Yeah, just not
would be
putting it up there.
Such a different game.
Interesting. So she's dropping an X, leaving 1 in the bag. Do you think maybe she's hoping for Diluvia to unload some of her rack and get close? I don't know. I'm trying to think of the reasoning for that.
Where would
She might be scared of K overlaps alongside choir.
Well, I mean, it's a good play for timing, and it leaves 2 vowels, and so it's because there are 2 in the bag, right? So it's good to not empty the bag. Yeah, the chat's pointing out that if Levs is played, then Terry would block the X. But I mean, making your opponent block something that is is still good.
So preserve and plank is coming down.
You wonder why she's not just.
And Theresa has drawn that last E. No shortage of options to go out.
Yeah, I wonder why she didn't just play a word with Fabs now.
Vannitha down to just over a minute on her clock. Chris Hawkins points out that the challenge points for Petrus might come into this. This is a little bit closer than we were expecting for the end game with the way things have played out. Vannitha is playing Datelined and Div.
Ooh.
Nice play.
Yeah. Looks Quackle says her best would be to play Dep and Fat and Partisan. And then she would have lost by 34. Here the best outplay is SENE to the E of Bez.
Someone's pointed out Senza works as well to the ZA. Yeah, there are certainly some options for Theresa here. Basically just any valid play, and she's good. That will do. Esne, Riffs, and Fan. And time is put back on for Vannitha. Looks like she's held the play. And she's just checking, and yeah, that's fair. She needs it to not be a word to win this, so that's a fair challenge.
That's a really good challenge. That was a really satisfying game.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah. Nice game. Well done by Theresa at the end. Well, the whole game, really, but.
Oh, I forgot to add the 5 points for Petrus. Oh my.
Oops. So there's actually 5 more points for Theresa. And as Chris Hawkins points out, Theresa has yet to lose on stream. She has won all 3 of her games. And it's actually funny, for those of you who are Theresa fans or you know her, when I've gone by to see her at some of her boards and games that are not on the feature board, she's been like, don't feature me please, I'm playing like a certain word I can't say on the air. I'm not playing very well, she's saying. Very gracious. As I mentioned before, she played Sub World on Dave Weekend, extending world with Sub, and she felt like she had played that game poorly because she missed something in the end game against Dave, but as it turns out, she just would have lost by less, so she felt less bad, she said afterwards.
Singapore upset USA.
No. What do you want us to say?
We'll let you sit, we'll stand.
I'm exhausted. No, you sit. We've been sitting for 3 solid days.
All right.
And sleeping in between. Do you want to sit?
No, it's okay.
No, let them sit because I...
No, it's okay. No, you guys do
I'm going
your
to sit down
thing.
then because I'm short-sighted. I can't see.
And then we can have a look
Okay,
at
please tell us what we missed.
what Crackle would have done.
Start from the beginning because it was difficult from the start.
Start from the beginning.
Did I have a bonus on my first drag? Yes.
Did you see?
No, I didn't see it. I would have played it if I saw it.
Hogmanay or Mahogany?
Hogmanay.
But they're very, very similar. They're within a few points of
Yes,
each
I
other.
felt there was... Oh, shit.
No, but it's not.
These actually were really close
Yeah,
together
they seem-
as far as the options went. They were all very
No,
close.
but no. If I'd seen Hogmanay or Mahogany, I'd have played it. I can assure you.
What is
I
there a
have to
reason?
be impressed.
you
Remember, I have to
played
play a fancy
caught
word.
here instead of here?
Pardon?
I missed.
Oh.
Just missed.
Okay.
That was just a miss.
Okay. So wait, otherwise everything okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
how could
good.
you score more than Petrus?
No, well, I was conscious of not putting a vowel there.
Oh.
You know, because I could have played Proteus, you know?
Yeah. Well, then you got 5 points for challenge. Good.
Yes.
We were wondering your thoughts on Dwine.
What did I have? Yes, I nearly had downtime.
Yeah.
What
And you
I
could
have
have played a
done?
bunch of things here. You probably saw them, but they would have.
And Quackle didn't like my move. If you simulate, it doesn't.
I mean, it's okay.
After about 10,000 simulations, it doesn't.
This is fun, actually. I need to come and see it immediately. Like,
So it was interesting. This actually it scored well, obviously, and your leave is reasonably balanced. Just here, you just have TINE if you play Dao, or
No, it's true. But the
wanted
Dao
is
was
just-
better. You know, you focus on one area of the board and you just don't see anything else. It's really a bad habit.
Were you trying to be
Yes,
defensive?
lineated.
Yeah.
yes, I was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I
And
guess
then we thought it was.
Does
Quackle-
Dateline take or
what did
no?
Quackle-
Dateline,
Quackle like,
Dateline.
lineated.
I think so, yeah.
Lineated.
But we thought it was interesting because you switched from being defensive to going offensive
yeah,
with Fab.
like
and we were
Fab
like,
was.
wow, that was such a quick
that
change.
seems so bold because you didn't have an S.
Yeah, but I needed to score. So, and I just wanted to
So
keep
is
up.
Dateliner good?
because I think then
Dateliner
she
is
go
good.
ahead.
Dateliner, can you ask?
Because
Just
Oh,
Dateline.
no.
No,
wow.
that's right. It's not good.
Hmm.
Okay, good.
Well, we're not fave. It scores even more and
But it
doesn't.
opens a lot.
but then
What would you have called
I wouldn't be able
moves?
to come back from a 9.
Oh, but you know what my rack was then, eh? My
Yeah,
awful rack.
but like all 4 S's were unseen,
Yes.
so Fab was so bold.
We liked it. It was
worked.
such a
It worked.
sudden
Yeah,
change.
but
Like,
you
hey,
know, it's
she's
just,
great.
Was that a good move?
I mean, it could.
Yeah.
She could take
'Cause,
it, and,
it
or I could
balanced
take
my
it,
rack,
and there's
but-
a line on top,
It
and
was
there's a line on the
second-
bottom.
It was second only to Onagri. Quackle really liked Onagri.
Ah, yes, I never saw Onagri. I know it, but I haven't seen it.
Gore's good too. That was
Yeah,
lots
Gore's
of
good
Well,
fun
too.
I
days.
thought it would balance a bit, and in fact,
Yeah.
I got the. Well, over here I was spoiled for choice. If she didn't do that, I had Zarina, and I
Yeah.
also had Artisan there. So
Yeah.
you know, I was gonna.
I mean, there was no reason to open up the board with lineated because it was just maybe 10 points more for lineated.
I think 7, right? 7 or 8. I think it was.
9, yeah.
Yeah.
So and then there was no, real necessity to give her floaters, and but then with
Of course,
Fab,
there was a necessity.
then with Fab, and then I was behind,
never
so I was
saw
just trying to
Mahogany.
keep up and
I'm very
keep
tired
up
today.
with
Oh, no.
scoring and,
I was
and
awake.
LOVs
I
and
couldn't sleep.
IPs.
Oh, I'm not with it today.
So and yeah.
I'm conscious of
Yeah,
not.
love is
Okay,
a
so
great
this
lead.
rack,
Yeah, this was really interesting.
one, I
This
I
was a
wasn't
tough one.
really
Yeah.
sure of voices.
What were you carrying besides?
No, this was my rack. Oh, Bez.
No.
Bez was also.
What
the
was your
thing.
other letter?
L.
He's L.
L.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I didn't see.
So
Yeah.
no, Bez was also. I was wondering about Bez, but then I thought,
In a sim, Quackle actually thought Lev's
Lev,
sim best.
right.
Like one interesting thing is that's the only O there is, so that's like the only letter you can use there.
Yeah, that's right. So I was actually
It's also the only
unsure
one.
about.
Did I have a bonus on my second
this.
rack?
Yeah.
I mean, if I
all of
could
us
have
know.
played
No,
back
Just on
like
that first one.
BC, then I would have actually done that.
I looked at
If I
it.
could have played out the B
See, I
and the
put
C
them
down there, I would have
Yeah.
actually taken that spot.
Yeah.
It's a
But
tough
because I
spot.
couldn't,
No, I should have seen. I think if I was less tired, I'd
then I
probably
saw that there were lots of S's and there was
Yeah.
still like 2 other S's and the blank unseen.
Yeah.
And
What
just to
else?
create another line, like there was a line down there, so
Yeah, but those are nobody knows what's best here.
sorry, what?
Nobody knows what's best here.
That's the interesting part.
Yeah.
It generated a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, yeah. So
We'll have to watch it later and see what all the comments were. There were a lot of comments. And
There were. I tried to say them in
Why
different
did you
words
do
as
that?
often as
Why did you-
possible, so that you can see it. Because
Okay.
you're not always able to see the chat. So I try to say it when it's something that
Yes.
contributes to the discussion for sure.
And reserve. Can I tell you what I was thinking? Relève I
Yeah.
didn't like because there was the X
Yeah.
still. And if
like-
she had OXO,
Yeah.
because I considered relève first.
Well, there's no O's.
There's no
out.
O's. Oh,
There's no
okay.
O's. Well, there's still like axon and stuff.
Well, with the blank, you could do
Yeah,
long
exactly.
if you had it.
Or
And the
axon.
blank was still unseen, which is why I was going to play relay first, and then I changed
Yeah.
my mind.
Quackle's favorite play was actually Lere here.
Oof, how dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget there's blank A, D, E,
Wouldn't-
P, S. you
Yeah,
know?
that's dangerous.
And they weren't on my rack. As you
Yeah.
know, I had 3s and 2Rs on my
Yeah.
rack.
yeah.
No, I didn't want to put a vowel there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
my
yeah.
main
That's a-
consideration.
yeah,
I
that's
didn't
really
want to
good.
put a
So
vowel
nobody
there.
really knew what to do.
Well, because it was
No.
such a
So can you
odd position, yeah.
simulate reserve and see what it tells you?
Yeah. So maybe let's remove.
No, don't remove the good ones because then it'll come out on
Oh
top.
well. I mean, these are not
the
good.
the
right?
sort of non-ones are. And I don't know if the eye hadn't been there, if I would have risked Creelers.
Oh, what the quite was
Is
quite the
Creelers
best move.
good?
No, we actually that came up in the chat.
Yeah.
Someone asked if it was
Ah,
good, and they were like,
okay.
"Oh, could she have
What
played
was
it?" It's like,
It's
I
Choir?
probably
well, she
would have. It's a
could
good
have.
thing.
What
Good
was
thing.
did Quackle find anything else for the choir
Yeah.
move?
Yeah, there was Choir or Roach. Roach was like 5 more points,
Okay.
but it's obviously less.
Well, it doesn't.
And then Ichor, of course.
the
instead of
percentage
Right. Oh, each all,
Yeah.
right.
So those were all
with
pretty
reserve,
similar.
yeah,
Right.
49.
But we figured after you didn't play lineated, you wouldn't play Roach either.
No. No.
And then Fab happened. We were like,
But then when I
"Whoa."
played reserve, I said, "Oh shit, there's the P."
I mean, fair could go
Which is why
either
then I
way,
played
you know,
plank
I
with
mean,
my
I
blank.
just oh, I
You
picked up
see?
the S, so you know,
Yeah.
it just creates
Because
some
there was a
excitement
possibility
here.
of pixel
So-
there.
It did.
Which was
And
very
voices
worrying.
was the same, like
Reserve.
Yeah.
let's just
I
see
guess
what
I would be
pick up
super
and,
wary
you
of
know.
playing the S, right? Because
Yeah.
like you
It's
might,
cost,
even
it's
if you don't
cost,
need to
and
play here,
Yeah.
but you might need to play here, and then you can't really
Yeah,
block
I
it.
know. Yes, you know, one stops thinking clearly. Okay, so yeah, bad
But I
move.
mean, they're not.
Yeah.
it's-
They're also
it's-
close
they're
together.
Quite close.
But
yeah,
then I
everything is
realized that
close.
there was pixel, P-I-X-E-L. So when she put the X there, I was really pleased, and I thought, okay, I'm going to take that P spot and play it, even if it doesn't score, just enough to win. Was that a good move, by the way? My
Mott was
Mott?
really good. Yeah.
Because-
There
Dealt
was
with your T's nicely.
there was
Yeah,
nothing
I
else
thought that
there.
was the best I could do. And did it like Jew with what I was holding? Not really. I'm sure Jew wasn't a very good move.
No, it was. These were all close.
Jot and Jigot was the
Yeah.
one that went a little
I
ahead,
mean,
but they were all close.
These were very
Yeah.
close. Yeah.
Okay.
It was nice. It was a great game.
Hard work.
Yeah, I think. Did you see Jigot? Is there a reason you didn't play Jigot?
I
Oh,
didn't
is it?
see it.
Okay.
I'm not seeing, this is the.
The next game is starting.
I was hearing the comments yesterday. Her
But
move
what
should
did
have
that
been
last
gutter.
right? What
I didn't see it. People
when I played
overestimate
Z,
our ability, I think. I don't see
I really
these
didn't know what
moves.
to do here.
Oh, we didn't either. We couldn't see any way to win, especially given the. I think to win you need to.
The
Yeah.
thing I
Drop
thought
up
maybe
the
was play
blank
Villi
alias
and
or
hope for
something.
blanky or something like that, or something similar.
You were
but
totally dead.
you were pretty much dead in the water.
Last,
Yeah, so I just
last
decided,
question
like,
was
I'll
plank
just
the right move?
Make her think a
Oh,
little bit with one in the bag.
no,
You know,
I
if
think-
I empty the bag, then she's
I
going
mean, something like this.
She'll know
Just
what
know,
happened,
I
of
right,
course.
yeah.
what Quackle would have done.
Yeah.
Scores even more than.
I think I was worried about her P coming down and taking points, yeah.
Yeah.
So Kumar mentions that the next game is about to start.
All
So
right,
thanks so
thank you.
much
Thank
for
you
coming.
very
with
much.
us.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Good luck in the last two.
Your game
We
so
must
good.
look at the board more.
I'll get a results slip from you.